and not only is the insulation melted, but the wires inside of it are melted together. So we believe that's our issue. We're going to go forward.
Hey guys, Ed over here at FICM Repair. So, this other video is a very interesting point, right? It's, who can I trust for parts now, right? And it's like, so OE Ford, that was on a 7.3. I just did have a picture of a 7.3 IPR valve handy. Sorry about that. But this is a larger conversation about how everything is linked to everything else. So in this particular case, in this particular video, guy had a 7.3 and it was a no start, and they said that their ICP sensor, that pigtail was game over, and there's the picture I stitched with it. You saw it. It was shot, right? And it's like, okay, and that didn't fix the problem. And he's like, oh, well, I've got this Alliant IPR valve, and I pulled that out and put in a 20-year-old Motorcraft IPR valve, and the thing fired right up. And it's like, man, it's real easy to think that, Alliant makes a bad product here, but is it Alliant's fault? In this example, I would suggest no. I would suggest absolutely no. I think it's very likely that this shorted out ICP pigtail was freaking the IPR out, because it's like IPR is trying to make everybody happy. It's just taking inputs from people. It's kind of like saying, if you ask your girl if she's hungry and she says no, and you don't bring her anything back, from the drive-through, and she gets upset at you. Well, I mean, yeah. You said you weren't hungry. We're supposed to know? I mean, I don't know. How does that work? But in cars, it's more like ones and zeros, right? Just on and off. So I would tell you that everything is causal. There's always a reason why. You hear that a common thread on my channel, right? There's always a reason why. Why did this thing fail? And if your screen's got holes in it or whatever, well, crap, yeah, I feel bad for your injectors, because that's the last in line device to protect your injectors. And so it's like, oh man, God, maybe I should have been more careful when I did that screen on the oil cooler, just saying. So, cleanliness is close to godliness when it comes to working on our vehicles, guys. So take the time, clean things properly, take a look, verify that you don't have, singe marks, or, you're doing an oil change, you're waiting for that last little bit to drain. Take the opportunity and inspect everything. Just go through and say, hey, do I have what appears to be a short starting? Do I have a little brown spot there? It's indication of heat. Let me go ahead and take care of things instead of reactively, and we can avoid selling you a $300-400 IPR valve or a $200 ICP sensor. You know, much rather I'd sell you a pigtail? Oh my goodness, yes. And we can help you down the rabbit hole of who makes the best mousetrap. And in some cases, it really is the OEM part. In other cases, it's like, nah, this other part for a fifth the price will do just fine. So the goal's never to sell you stuff. It is to tell you stuff. But if you've got examples of other causal things, please put them in the comments. In this particular example, the causal thing was, hey, you had an ICP pigtail and it took out an IPR. What other pigtails or other issues have you seen where it's like, hey, one thing turned out caused something else, and that would have been totally avoided if only I had inserted here? So I'm curious to your comments. Let's start the conversation. Happy Monday to you. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. Thanks, guys.